All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the very first Grand Prix Classics press conference. Doing this new thing for this season where we, before the race starts, every time we have a race, we talk to a few of the drivers and see their perspectives on the season, on the following race, maybe the previous race, if they have something to say about that. And it's also an opportunity for everybody that is in the chat right now to ask a few questions. First, we'll start with introducing our drivers. And since it's a completely new season, of course, you will see these guys for the first time right here, see who to drive for. First, we have Dustin, who is driving for Red Bull Racing this season. Say hello, Dustin.
Hello.
And then we've got Michael, who's driving for Toro Rosso this season.
Hello.
And then finally, Dikra, who is driving for Lotus.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Hello indeed. And Dikra, let's start with you. You are driving this season yet again with your same partner, Domska.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the stability of having the same partner again and him being, of course, a champion last year? Does that intimidate you?
Well, I mean, we are good friends off the track as well, so I think it's a no-brainer for us to team up, and we complement each other pretty well, I think. There is some setup work that I think I may be a little that I may be a little more knowledgeable than him. And on the other hand, I think he has a very good feeling for the car and he can easily tell what works and what doesn't. And sometimes he also shows me things that I thought wouldn't work and he proves that they can. So that's a relationship where one pushes the other, which I think is very healthy. And I think over the time we've perfected that. And it has enabled us to have a very good season in the 1995 F1 cars. And I think we're looking forward to this one, even though maybe the setup work won't be quite as magical this time around.
Okay, so not as magical this time around. Interesting. Do you think you yourself have more chances to win this season overall?
Well, if I cut off the mistakes, yes, but that's been the big issue last season. I think the pace improved towards the end of the season and the mistakes also improved, but it's still, I'm very prone to throwing the car away. And if I do that, well, then it's not going to be huge chances, but I'm certainly hoping to have a real shot this time.
Okay, well, let's hope that works out for you. Next,
But
let's
I
move.
think also the other drivers are a bit more threatening this time because last season we had the advantage of having found a setup that was very, very, very good and that gave us a healthy advantage over the others. And I don't think we're going to have that this year. And also these cars are very punishing. And I think some drivers are going to be able to deal with that better than others, especially Statue is one I'm quite looking forward to hopefully beat, but I'm a little afraid.
Yeah, that should be interesting, and hopefully we'll have some good battles between you and Statue then. Michael, you're driving for Toro Rosso this season. Last season, I recall you had quite an up and down season. Sometimes you were a little lower in the midfield, and sometimes you were up there properly fighting. Often you ended up roughly where best of the rest would be. How do you feel about your chances this season?
It's very unknown at the moment. I hope I can do best of the rest. But like Dikra said, the car is very tricky and punishes you very easily when you do a mistake. Tires are, yes, also not really known. So I hope I can do best of the rest very often. I think the guys up at the front are too fast. So I never will catch them, but I will try my best to get faster.
Yes, of course, sometimes all you can do is try your best. I believe your teammate this season is Marcus VR. I believe he wasn't your teammate last season, right?
Yes, last year it was Nacho.
Yes. Why with Marcus this time?
Nacho has no time, so I teamed up with Marcus.
Oh, the first man you could find that was willing to take the seat, perhaps.
Yeah, the first I asked, he said yes.
Okay, well, From what I recall, he was a fairly good driver, so he got a good chance with the team to pick up some good points. Where do you think the team will finish this season?
Yeah, it's hard to say, but if we do all the races, so we never miss a race, I'm sure we can be like fourth or third.
Oh,
But third, it's very, yeah, that's I think the best we could do, but I think fourth is realistic.
okay. Well, that's interesting, and let's see if that works out for you. I think you've got good competition this season, so I don't think it's going to be easy. But, yeah.
Yes. Very good drivers, and not. There are a few really good drivers, so it will be a hard season.
Yes. And who some might consider to be among those very, very good drivers, Dustin, who has last season got well, he's actually got the most recent win in a Grand Prix Classics race around Spa. How do you feel, Dustin, about this season?
I definitely want to win more races than last year because, as I said, I have the most recent win, and I only have the last race as a win. Almost Suzuka, if you can count it, I would have given Gary the win anyways, and then I spun into the barriers, so I drove the last lap or something like this with huge damage on the car, but it was still a P2. Yeah, so this year around, I want to be ahead of my teammate again, which I didn't manage to last year. And of course, I finally want to also win the championship because for me, it's about time because I really love this car. And I think I have the backing of Adrian Newey as a Red Bull driver, so let's see.
Okay, so you're going to have a very strong setup later. That's all that I expect, and I expect wins all over the season. Because 2012 season wasn't as much of a slam dunk as the season right after that. But yeah, let's see if you can emulate that magic. Your teammate, of course, is the same driver as was your teammate last season. That was Gerald Schmidt. Last year, he was nearly champion. He nearly managed to steal it from Domska through great consistency and a very, very strong second half of the season. What are your hopes for producing a world champion this season?
First of all, what we want to achieve is for the third time in a row team championship, so constructors champion for the third time in a row, and this time finally one of us has to win the championship.
So it has to happen. Okay. So you're fairly certain, or you think this is a goal that we need to attain?
I think this is a must-have for us because we need to improve every year, and Gary definitely has done this with the first win in Indianapolis back then, and more wins that followed afterward. So I feel for myself in 1995, I wasn't as competitive in the years before that, and I want to regain this for 2012. So yeah, let's see. I have no practice for today yet. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, quickly for the people watching, this is absolutely the time you should be asking questions in the comments. See, Edward has already asked if Red Bull will have a new champion. Well, you heard it here first. They will. Actually, Edward, he is one of the Williams drivers, and he's asking his teammate being Randers, same as last season. Do we see Williams as a threat this season? Let's start with Michael.
Yes. A threat. What is a threat? I mean, they have good drivers. Renders is very fast. I think he's faster than me. So, of course.
De Croo?
I mean, in qualifying for sure. I know that Randers is a great qualifier. I am not really sure if that also goes for the races because Randers has been proven quite oftenly that he has the same issues as myself with mistakes. and he seems to have it even slightly worse. So if I see a race by him that has 0 mistakes, 0 collisions, 0 anything, then I'm gonna be very watchful for Team Williams. But as long as I don't see that, I'm currently looking elsewhere.
Dustin?
Yeah, I think Dika nailed it on that because he can be, or Randers can be really strong. Both Williams drivers. But last year I thought a bit more with Randers than mostly anyone else, I think. So yeah, I hope to up my game this year and to be in front of him a bit more again. But if he's there, if he's doing no mistakes, this can be a hard task for any of us.
Okay, very interesting. Actually, I want to stick with you, Dustin. I forgot to ask earlier. You are, of course, also, and I mention this every season, like almost every race. You're still the organizer of the Grand Prix Classics, 6 seasons going. I want you to think back. What is your favorite memory of any season so far, and what are the things that you've learned specifically from last season that is going to make this season different?
Um, I think last season was a really good season because we had no safety cars, for example. But most memories I really been fond of is the battles with Alan, especially in Hockenheim back then in 1997 and 2001, the seasons we did. Um, really, yeah, with real racing we had. This is something I really hope to repeat with him one day. So, Alan, if you're hearing this, please come back. um, yeah, other than that, the what I really like about the championship and what was my goal initially is the friendships that are forming here because you're racing with your teammates, you speak with each other, you come up with a great setup, and this is a highlight for me every season. And like you said, it's the sixth season already, and it's really nice to see. It's a lot of organization, but this is just what I want to achieve. No toxic environment or anything like this. It's just a happy place most of the time. And I'm really happy about that.
Yes, and I think that's how most drivers experience it is as well. And question for the other two. We'll start with Dikra. What is your favorite? You've both been in previous seasons. What is your favorite memory of any Grand Prix Classics race?
Well, it's an easy answer. I think I only got 1 win up till now. So that one, I mean, that was a great race. That was the wet Imola race in 1995.
Well, why was that your favorite? What happened exactly? Is it
Well,
just
I
because
won
you
it
won,
by
or?
yeah, I won it by 50 seconds and gained a second every lap. That was great fun, but I didn't get to experience that any time after or before that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think one of my favorite racing wins was also just driving away from people at Spa and just never seeing anyone. It can be quite,
Yeah,
quite good to know
I
you
mean,
have that pace. Yeah,
I mean, it would be Spa if I had won that race, but I mean, as I think I pretty well communicated back then, my monitor turned off at around lap 15 or something, and I ended up in the barriers and not finishing that race. So that counts as the worst, I guess.
and Michael, your favorite memory of seasons past?
Well, it's very hard to say. Or maybe what was it, the 4th season with the V10s Gen 2 at Silverstone, where I got 4th. I throw away the podium. Randers got it. That was a very decent pace. That was a good race. I would take that even if I didn't catch the podium.
Yes. Okay. That's that's a good way to think back to races. Of course, the results are sometimes only secondary to the way you perform. Yeah, it's good to hear. Quick lightning round for all of you. who do you think will be champion? I just want to hear a name and nothing else. Drivers champion. Let's start with Michael.
Ooh, I risk it all and I say statue.
The Crow?
Statue.
Dustin?
Yeah. I think we have all the same opinion of who will win.
Well, let's dig into that a little bit. Statue, I think, is a clear favorite, and I think that's because he showed off his pace in a very interesting way in the group chat. Is that correct?
Not entirely because of that. It's just because I know that Statue, he has a magical ability to cope with loose rear ends. And in this car, the looser you can cope with, the faster you go. So in this car, and it's also very punishing, and Statue also is very consistent in these kinds of cars that are very punishing, very on the edge. And I think these cars will suit him very, very, very well. So I think there's a high likelihood, if he doesn't mess up his setups, that he's gonna be a threat.
Yeah, of course, I was referring to him getting world record, I think, on every single track that we're going to do.
Yeah,
which-
I don't care about that. I don't think that's something that's important for how you can race in these cars, but I think he has got the skills for racing too.
Yes. What's your opinion on that, Dustin?
As you know or may know, we are driving with a community car, also with Stachu. And he is also racing most of the races. And for example, we had a race this Wednesday, and he has won his race on his server. Gave us a fantastic setup Dicker didn't use. I got a P2 with no practice at all. And yeah, he's really dedicated into this and getting a really good setup and just be as close as the top as possible, even winning. So, for example, he did win on Wednesday, and he will, if nothing happens, definitely be on the podium today.
Interesting. And Michael?
What was the question again?
Statue being a clear favorite. What do you
Yeah.
think of that?
Yeah, because all the things you heard about the fast times, I think in this season we have 5 drivers who can win the championship, like Dustin, Gerald, Dikran Domschka, and Statue. But I really don't know who is making it. But yeah, Statue, I don't know where the fear is coming from. Maybe yes, he's topping all the timing states, and yeah, I don't know.
For you, it's more of a slight balance that Statue wins out on. Okay. So, a question from Edward again. He's watching very nicely. He's asking, what do you think the DRS will do to the season and the curse system? Of course, last season was a very raw car with no curse DRS, just driving. And this season it's a lot more, well, different. Michael, what do you think?
I think this will be very interesting to manage it all right with the ERS, the curse, yeah. And also we will have more overtaking opportunity with the DRS. It will be very interesting. But if you do a little bit too much steering with the wing open, you crash immediately. That's very sensitive.
Okay, something to be careful about.
Yeah, very. So I need to get used to it. But very interesting with these ones.
Very good. Dustin?
I think with the DRS, you can get up to 20 kilometers an hour more than the opponent in front of you who has no DRS. And the only option for the guy in front is to defend with curse. So whenever you're in the fights, you need to use it very cleverly. So this will be very exciting to see this year. And like Michael also said, the DRS can be really dangerous as well, because if you switch the steering angle too much for a second, you spin around and crash. And if you crash to the rear of the car, you will get 100% damage very quickly. So this is very difficult in this car. But yeah, let's see how the drivers will cope with it. And it will really be interesting to see for us.
Right, and Dikra?
Yeah, I think it'll do a couple of things. First of all, it's right that it will probably lead to some crashes because people just try to dart out too quickly, and that's going to go wrong at some point, and it's very easy for that to go wrong. But also, it will make high downforce setups more viable, I think, because you now don't really have the issue of how do I overtake on the straights. You will be able to, no matter your wing settings, if the car in front doesn't have DRS. And also, I think the racing's gonna change because now with DRS, it's very easy to stay close to another car. In fact, if you're half a second slower per lap, you will be able to stay close to another car with a DRS on most circuits. Maybe not this one, but or pretty much all the others. And that will change how the races look and how the races progress because it's gonna be quite difficult if you are in the DRS train to overtake, and you maybe have to try something with strategy. And on the other hand, it maybe doesn't please you too much to be in front. And I think we're gonna have a lot more overtakes for first position or for whoever's at the front of the DRS train, and all of that is gonna make for races that go very differently to what we have now or what we have had in the last seasons.
All right, very good. Yeah, we're running a little short on time. I have one more question for each. Please keep your answer brief. Of course, we're racing at the Spanish Grand Prix today. We'll start in about 5 hours from now. What are your feelings for it? Are you excited? Is it a good track for you? And do you think you will do well? Let's start with the Crow.
Yeah, I think strategy will be very exciting in this race. Tire life is at a premium on this track. I think it's also going to see a lot of mistakes because, as we've said, the car is very punishing depending on how much you go towards the limits with the setup and how much rear end you want to have. So I think I'm a little bit nervous about driving consistently. And I think I'm pretty confident that we've, as a team, have that we found out how to do the strategy in the optimal way. So I think I'm a mix of confident and nervous.
Right, Michael.
Yes, he said it. It will be, yeah, very tricky, difficult with the setup, with all the new drivers, how the car is behaving during the race. Very much all is unknown. So we will see. I'm also a little bit nervous, but excited too. So looking forward to the race.
Brilliant. And Dustin?
Yeah, for me as an organizer, it's really, really cool to see everyone coming together for the race, and I'm really hyped up for it. Barcelona isn't my favorite track in the calendar, but it's also not my least favorite, which is Silverstone. But yeah, I really hope to do good there. So we will have some really nice racing and a very cool race where we can connect to last season races.
That's a really good bombshell, controversial opinion. Silverstone being your least favorite track. So let that be the
That's my
takeaway. All right.
I like 2001 better.
Very good. All right. Thank you so much for joining for this very first press conference, and good luck in the race in about 5 hours. And if you've been watching, thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you soon.